my name is Rodrigo.
My name is Eduardo. Manoela.
And our presentation is in Portuguese, but we will try some improvisation here.
So I'll be translating. Oh, I see. Sorry. I thought they were to speak in Portuguese.
No, but we will in Portuguese. So we have, our vision of the area is we want to improve the what already is there and improve the good things. So we want to keep the connection with the sea. We want to propose an integration with the public transportation and cycleways. We want to propose a place where the beira-mar, the seashore, is a public space, so people can enjoy and have spend their time there. And we want to build community spaces for the people who already live there to continue exploring their living like they already live.
Sense of community. In our vision, the integration with the other neighborhood is very important because now they are segregated, and making this seashore public area, it's important so other people can use together with the moradores, residents of the community too.
So when we did our SWOT analysis, we thought about the strengths being like the community sense, the landscape and the views we have with the landscape, and the contact with the nature. And we thought about the tradition, the fishing tradition, like a strength too.
The opportunities, we listed the connection with the sea and the cultural activities like capoeira and maracatu. That's a way to learn and education and make the traditional to go through the kids and other generations.
So as weaknesses, we listed the segregation with the rest of the neighborhood, the lack of sewage street.
Basic infrastructure.
Yes, and the infrastructure that is very poor in the area.
As threats, we listed the highway. Built disease because of the low infrastructure, and maybe the loss of the identity with the fishing if they don't get enough job and things like that, or enough money.
Okay, in the zone code, we separating and more general things, and like maintaining the connection with the sea, a strong connection, and we want to
Say in Portuguese, then Laura will translate.
Oh my god. Oh, okay, so priorities for the pedestrians and the fishing. So we want here some little piers with storage for the boats, and the houses of the fishing will be preferential in the front of the north facing to near the piers.
We choose this location because of the winds. We talked with the Fischer the other time we went there, and they said that it's a better place to send the boats to the
And we already thought that placing the fishermen's houses facing to the sea, we could try to make the ground floors like a commercial store, trying to make it like a street for the fishermen that put the fishes from the sea to sell fresh, and like try to create another public market, but in that area.
It's not necessarily got to be the whole of the beachfront north facing, but we just thought that would be the best location for it because of the connection with the storage for the boats as well. There's and people coming to the beach and things.
And north facing because of the wind, that is better for the boats.
And with the fishermen living upstairs the buildings, they can have visual contact with their boats that will be parked right in front.
Here because of the view. That is the best view of the spine of the Manoela. And if we build a pier here, we can see the best view of the bridge. So this will be an area for social activities, and the pier will have a parking, like
Public jetty for boats, so
yes.
it's like a tourist stop so the boats can go to other islands and make money from taking people for rides. It also, at the moment we've got this view from sort of a pier, but it's not a pier as such, it's the row of houses that goes out into the sea. So it's sort of continuing what they've already got now, but in a safer way.
We thought about also the promoting diversity from their economy, and we thought, as we said, from this pier that is here, try to implement a system of transport like
connecting with the other pier that is in the island.
so the fishermen could take money from leaving people to the continent, to the island, when they to get an extra money.
And then taking people and making this public transportation, it will invite people. The movement of people will be greater than it's now. And making them participate of the activities of the neighborhood and as a whole. We
also thought about trying to maintain the community sense to use this corner to create a community center, and we thought about when nothing happened, this community center will have no use. So we thought about reserving a place in this community center for the women to keep doing their handmade flip-flops, so that this could be also an extra activity to get money.
Which is can teach the kids some activities too, and can happen a lot of other activities that
Fixing nets and teaching them skills of fishing as well, which is a way for them to sort of become more equal with the men, like the guy said yesterday. Sorry, I forgot his name.
we choose this corner because it's the principal ways to come here to this area, and the connect to Beira-Mar, the middle Beira-Mar, and the rest of the neighborhood is called Balneário. This is the best place to stay. And then another thing to make the community sense is create a green roofs that's collective areas, but private, only for the community, where they can stay together, stay with their friends, and play capoeira, maracatu, and in this place indoor too. Not indoor, but and
space.
yeah, simple but simple. That's it. A gente falou de todos.
Sustainability we thought as well because the guy said this, I can't pronounce his name.
No, you won't pronounce his name, I know that. Don't.
He said that most of them ride by bus and things, and that's really amazing because it's a lot more sustainable than what's happening in Brazil at the moment. So we thought that we could get the bus route, we could put a bus stop outside the sort of the iconic corridor that we've got going, so that it links the site with the rest of the community, because they'll be mixing with the rest of the community on the bus, and it'll also bring the tourists and things. And alongside that, we were thinking about providing cycle parking, so that hopefully would encourage them to take up sustainable forms of transport.
Even if they don't get money, when they get money, now I think they would buy a car. But if we provide other ways to walk and transportation, they will not go.
We also quite like the way they were very sustainable in themselves, like recycling things. But also we noticed that the sanitary conditions weren't great. So we really wanted to create sort of a waste and recycling sort of community facility, like not just sort of like bins and things, but like to make them aware of how to be sustainable and how to sort of like reduce their carbon footprint.
And for the other buildings for living that weren't facing to this way, we thought in kind of splitting them in like a puzzle, because this will give them the sense that they already have there, and probably integrate them with the neighbors. That is something that we thought could get lost if they moved to buildings like regular flats. And this splitting these buildings, we thought about making little paths to this semi-public green space inside of the buildings.
Excellent. Thank you.